Oh, okay, so we just started the stream early because, let's do it. I need to grab CCC. But the match already started, so I decided to start the recording immediately and then call Mr. CCCCC. Here he is. I'll call him up. So we've got a triple threat tournament match. Bob199 and Ramirus the Raptor. Hi CCC,
Hello.
I've already started the recording, so you're already live.
Oh,
Well,
hey.
not live, but you know,
Hi, YouTube.
live enough. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Wow, triple threat. I don't know who the teams are actually. I'm gonna go have a look.
I do know Ramirez's team is Jaina, Grave, and Argagarg.
Oh, that's a pretty solid team. I like that.
Yeah. He's actually fresh meat. I introduced him to the game. This is his first tournament.
Oh, very, very good.
Yeah, and I had to apologize to him profusely because the bracket is kind of stacked against him. He's got strong players surrounding him on all sides.
It's well, I mean, the bracket is very stacked in terms of who's playing. Bob's team, it appears, is Onimaru, Argagog, and Zane, which is
Yes.
also quite a solid team.
Yeah.
However, depending on who wins the first match, this whole thing could swing in either direction.
Yeah. Ramirez kind of was relying on, like he talked to me about this, he was going to rely on, you know, the fact that he's a new player, that might make him a little bit more unpredictable. Although, Bob seems to have gotten the hang of it.
Yeah, well, Bob is well known for his adaptability.
Yeah,
He's a strong fellow.
certainly. Funnily enough, my tournament record against Bob is 6 wins, 0 losses.
Fair enough.
Just if I could brag for a moment.
Well, I actually have only fought him like twice, which is in IYL, and I think I lost the first one and won the second one, but I don't remember that for sure. Although I do realise that Ramirus, he has Arg, Grave, and Jaina, but Grave and Jaina are both sort of soft to Arg, so
Yes.
Bob's Arg could clean up here, even
It
if
could,
he loses. I imagine he'll probably bring out the Arg if he loses this match, and Ramirus is almost certain to bring out the Arg after losing this one.
I was playing Arg against him in practice. He sometimes got a little bit frustrated, but he can take a few games off an Arg player.
Well, that's good.
I'm not the best Arg. He's my third, rather than my first. But you know.
You didn't even enter with Grave.
No, I considered entering with Grave, even though that's like my tournament team, but I decided, no, I just want to have fun. I'll play the characters that I think are the most fun, so I switched Grave out for Gloria, because I'm trying to learn Gloria, because I think she's very fun.
She's very fun, but unfortunately I'm not that good with her. She's only a counter pick for me, so I just, casually tier hoarded up.
Yeah. I find Gloria is a really good counter pick just to players who don't know what, like, her basic valuation is, because even I've run into like Trock and Zane players who are supposed to like absolutely run over Gloria, who don't. We might see a Final Authority come out here.
I should think so.
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty much. Yeah.
Shame that one.
Yeah.
Although, to be honest, in this matchup, I probably wouldn't let a J that much. As opposed to Red Dragoning, because Onimaru he only has his Queen as his fastest poke, and clashing Queen with Red Dragon is not a huge deal.
Yeah.
Unless he actually has Clockwork Swords attached.
Yeah. Like this.
That's nice. Nice wake up tool, but if he only, Red Dragon last combat, then he might have had another ace for extra damage. But, it looks like this will be in Bob's favour here.
Yeah. Bob says cheeky, but I know Ramirez does throw out letter J much more than Red Dragon all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Sometimes in some matchups you just need to learn to take that 0.8 speed, I guess.
Yeah.
And plus only 1 ace risked instead of 2.
Especially versus such as Valerie or
Yeah.
Gloria.
I think, yeah. Letter J is really only used to either undercut 0.4 or 0.6, or for the 4 chip damage to try and like close out a game with Smoldering Embers.
Yeah. I mean, the undercutting is very important quite often, but yeah, in matchups where
not in this
it's not
matchup.
relevant, it's kind of like, yeah, it doesn't really matter.
In this situation, yeah, because Jaina is down to 7 life.
Yes. I mean, like, also versus Troc, she doesn't really play.
Yeah, any throw will kill as well.
Ooh, nice uppercut there.
I hope he tacks a 10 onto this. I told him.
Always put those 10s on it. You can't power up with 10s, they're too high. How many 10s do we see in the discard already?
Oh, the 7.
Taking a 7 on.
Ooh. I hope he doesn't take that back. Okay, no, he left it.
Well, I mean, I feel like you should be saving that 7 as a late game surprise throw.
Well, I suppose with 7 life it doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah.
Onimaru does life in 10s. Why exactly am I still alive? Because this is Yomi. Bob has to guess correctly to finish you off.
Guess?
Well,
You
read,
play
I don't know,
optimally to the
play
Nash equilibrium.
something like that. You can probably just dodge, I think. I'm not sure, like, Ramirus is going to throw from this position. Oh, he threw. Okay.
Oh my goodness, wow.
Never mind.
Ooh,
Well, I mean...
that could have been... See, that's why I would have saved the 7, because if you wanted to throw, you want to be throwing with your optimal throw. Like, I would have pumped the 6 before pumping the 7 kind of deal.
Yeah, definitely.
Even though 6 is still, like, super strong.
Yeah. He's probably going to switch to Arg, because he does know that Arg is a strong counter to... Oh, okay.
Okay, well...
The Grave.
That's an interesting play.
I think I saw somewhere Grave Onimaru is about 5/5, but...
I think it's slight Oni favor, honestly.
Maybe, because I played this with CKR, who beat me 3-2 in this matchup in IYL, and it's really scary for both players.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It's like, because Final Authority can't be countered, Grave is very much in the, I have to be really careful about my T-possing, like raw. Like, you have to represent it, but you have to be so careful.
Yeah.
And it's very scary. Whereas, for Onimaru, he has to be scared of Grave is just kind of faster than me, and also he can just block a lot.
But also, neither character really wants to throw very much.
Yeah, because it opens you up to huge damage. Like, Grave gets to straight you and get aces, or Oni just, like, 20s you.
20, yeah.
20. It's very much like it comes down to the who's going to attack and block at the right times.
Oh,
That's
no.
The 6 attack.
The 6 block probably came out because Bob used up a 6 attack.
Yeah, and it'd be like, he might attack with a 5, but I'd be guessing that Ramirus doesn't have many. Many high blocks.
Oh, I hate Onimaru normals with Guard Crush so much. Like, he lands a 10, and not only does he get the 10, but he also draws a card.
Oh, yes. This combat.
I really don't think Onimaru should get normal draw from Guard Crush, but it's in the rules.
With his only throw as a 9, Ramirus is pretty safe to just chill out and block here.
Yeah. 9 block or 8 block, or even 10 block is really good.
Well, you could even 7 block at that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you wouldn't want to risk the 7 just in case he decides to throw with the 9.
So that's the other thing about the 10 not being a counter is you can actually just use your 10 as an extra rank on blocks, which does help.
Yeah, the only ability you can counter is General's Armor, which I
sometimes useful.
Okay, the Queen comes out. Not the best place to put a Queen, I don't think.
I mean, in that situation, he might have been playing Yomi Layer 3, maybe, because throwing Onimaru would have been a really strong play there. So he
I suppose, but I might have...
counter-attack.
I might have if I suspected a throw from Onimaru. Oh,
what? That was...
that's out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. That was... Wow.
With no power-ups.
That could have very easily just been walked into. That's very devastating.
Against a 11-card Onimaru,
Well, he knew he had a Final Authority.
Yeah.
But let's think about this.
But Bob
would
didn't.
Onimaru have been playing face cards at that point? I don't think so.
Well, I mean, he could have ran it into an Onimaru Ace or an Onimaru 10.
Yeah, or a 5.
Yeah.
Well, did he have a he had 2 queens in his hand, so
he did.
You could have been poking with a
It does
queen
undercut the queens, although
well,
you kind of want to save the queens for yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just getting it back.
And throwing with the final authority is kind of...
Yeah. So either has another final authority or he has no throws.
Yeah.
Or he's value trapping.
Well, he didn't have any throws before. Obviously, he has drawn a few cards since then.
Yeah.
And that was the final authority in his hand.
So lucky.
It's Clan Nishoi, the return of.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were there, but Clan Nishoi played like 3 T-Posses in one game, just casually.
Starting to dodge.
So
maybe reading into the fact that Bob threw with the final authority and may not have any throws.
Yeah, I think I'd still rather like block there.
Yeah.
But maybe someone's enjoying it.
More dodging.
Interesting, both of them in fact. So I'm not sure why...
you see, Bob can kind of afford to dodge because he's got 12 cards, but Grave still kind of needs to build up.
Yeah.
So.
But what do you think Bob's looking for? Is he looking for the final authority? Sorry, the T-Post, do you reckon? Oh, good dodge.
Maybe. Bob probably has a Joker to back this up.
Yeah.
I reckon.
No. He hasn't played a face down.
Oh, okay.
Is this T-Post?
If Ramirus has drawn the final ace...
No.
No, okay.
I was pretty sure he hadn't.
Yeah.
He was trying to telegraph really hard that he had T-Boss, but what happens when you actually hit a dodge? It's like, oh.
Yeah. Dodge into 7th row is not the
not your
best.
Optimal play.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
What did the roof boards tell you? The roof boards tell me that Ramirus has no high blocks. Oh, he has a high block. Okay.
You lied. I almost would have gone for a cross up there, but maybe he doesn't have the cards for it. With only,
well, he also Bob also has those 5s and queens and final authority.
Well, we don't know if he has authority.
Well, yeah. Well, there's a good chance he has final authority, but he also has queens. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, 1 queen at least, kind of.
Yeah, 12 card Onimaru is saddening because it kind of just means like just like I should attack, but I don't want to. Oh, good nice.
Now, I'd probably knock him down here, I imagine. But
well, with that hand size, yeah. If I had a bigger hand, yeah, I'd go for damage. But I think I'd need to conserve cards at this hand size. Alternatively, because Bob does have final authority and a lot of other dodges, sometimes I might decide to just tack on the ace to get the damage. Yeah, because I find that sort of like strategy works in quite a lot of matchups if you just think, get the damage, because this character has pretty good neutral control, so you need to like get it where you can. So 2 throws for Bob, 3 aces, 3 face cards, no final authority, still plenty of dodges, 2 blocks, both even,
2 throws, slow throws, so many attacks.
Yeah, although Ramirus has used up 3 7s so far, so that 8 is probably
That's true.
The 8 from Bob is probably the dominant throw in this
You're right.
scary hand.
Interesting jack, but he gets dodged. This could go into aces, I think. How many did we see?
Yeah, there are 3 aces, so it probably just goes into aces.
Very likely heads into aces. No face down as well, so put those aces, make those face cards scary.
Goes into the other side.
More. Okay, going for the instant damage. I think at 80 health, I think you'd rather have the threat of the 45 there, but it's interesting.
I don't know. I've seen some more Onimaru. Well, I did play Bob in the $5 tournament, and he opened with double ace from Onimaru. So maybe Bob just values double ace. Got some weird dodges into fast moves here. Sort of understandable against... Well, no, not really in a situation where he doesn't have final authority, but still. Queen gets dodged. See, this is kind of what I was talking about, where, both players just find it really difficult to commit to a throw. So it ends up just being a match of dodging and daring the other player to attack at the same time.
But he gets that 20.
Yeah, evening it up. Oh,
ooh, stuffs that next 20.
It's down to 10, so 10 block is relatively safe now.
Yes.
Does he have any other 10s that we know of? Doesn't look like it. No. Okay.
Ooh.
Fair enough, it was a face-up 10 block.
Yeah. Takes the 12. Not a
Only has those number, occasionally. Well, shit. Hmm. Nice.
Oh dear.
Did you enter this tournament?
Of course.
Alright.
Ooh, hits that nice queen.
I think Bob might just be in get the final damage mode. Just close it out.
Yeah. Right at this point, Ramirus, he was holding some aces. He spent them all. He really needs to be hitting a T-pulse around here.
Notable... Oh.
This could be death.
It could be. We've seen 2 kings, if he's drawn a third one.
Yep. Look, sometimes the 10th Ramirus.
There we go.
Kings.
And it's over.
Douche, douche, douche. So now we get Argagog from Ramirus.
Yeah, and thankfully for him, it's like a 6.5, 3.5 arc favor, so maybe he has a chance. It's not like it'll counter anything in this MU, this matchup. Well, it does counter one thing, but it's not worth it. I mean, it is sort of in situations, but I mean, Onimaru is not going to go for it in those situations.
Well, I don't know. I think being able to counter the 5 can be quite useful for Arg, poking with his low normals.
Yeah. So what are the chances of open throw from Bob? Just open 10 throw. Oh, okay. Don't know what the 9 throw from Ramirus was going to catch. Well, from last game, Bob did start out blocking and dodging a lot. So I might just try and, prevent that Onimaru build-up to stop him from getting to 12 cards.
Yeah, you definitely want to try and prevent that, because that's really the only way Oni actually wins this matchup, is if he builds up and gets to pump his throws a lot.
Yeah. What I like to do sometimes in Onimaru matchups is if he's on a middling hand, I like to try and force him to use Final Authority so that he goes lower on his hand.
Yeah, if you can.
Yeah.
And then pop the Joker in if it's a king. And
yeah. Because, I mean, it is kind of... where it blocks with the Final Authority, okay. It is kind of... well, Final Authority is scary, but you have to remember that if he hits it, often it ends up just being 3 cards for 10 damage, which is super inefficient. So
yes,
you shouldn't really, in neutral, you shouldn't really be that scared of it. You should only be scared of it if he has aces attached.
Yes.
Or if you're low on life. The most disheartening thing in an Oni match is to be low on life, look at his discard, and see no Final Authorities.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's also similar to the Valerie thing, where it's you just have to play different for the whole game, because he probably has one that's
You either have to make sure she doesn't use her 10s, or make sure she uses her 10s in suboptimal situations.
Yeah.
Onimaru has so much damage potential, though. Almost to the point where Final Authority, he can, drain a life bar without needing final authority. He can dodge into stuff, he can just guard crush. Even his 10 throw does respectable damage.
Ooh.
Okay.
Another queen, though. I think I see what Bob's trying to do here. He's using up his queens in the early game because he knows he won't need them later with final authority.
Yeah, that's a possibility. There's also maybe he's reading into the fact that Ramirus isn't blocking very much.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Which is a bit unfortunate. Ooh.
Well, that's a good combat win for Ramirus.
Not blocking.
I would probably go for damage at this point. But that's just the kind of ARG player I am. I like to go for damage.
I think going for damage is pretty good in this matchup because you basically just want to accelerate the clock.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, you know, knockdown versus Oni, he has like a billion ways to get out of knockdown.
Yeah.
Including just blocking, like...
It's supposed to happen. Bob with his, unfortunately, oh, I read it wrong. That 10 throw beats literally nothing but ARG's 10 throw and blocks and dodges. I want to see an ace block come out at least once. Yeah.
But even life totals, but Bob has twice a hand, so...
Yeah.
I feel like Bob is very likely to throw again.
Probably, yeah. I don't know, but ace block, if he actually manages to get bubble shield up, here would be a good place to do it.
Oh yes. Like at this point in the game, bubble shield is really good for catching yourself at a big lead.
But it does mean that throw is likely from Bob. Okay.
Alright. So the bubble shield did come out, but not the throw.
Yeah.
Instead he was going for a dodge, so maybe he read in that it was an obvious throw time, or maybe he was
maybe just wanted to scout, I suppose.
Yeah.
If you was like, ARG's not going to throw this turn. He's
pushing a lot of buttons, he might be trying to catch those buttons.
Yep.
A dodge from Ramirus instead of an ace block. I think
dodge
in this
and
matchup,
ace block are essentially the they're essentially the same.
Just pretty much just better to take the ace block in this matchup.
Probably.
At like nearly every stage of the game.
And there it goes.
Gets thrown there.
It's really easy to get into like bad habits where you dodge or high block multiple times in a row against Onimaru because you're like, I'm safe. I'm usually in danger, but I'm safe. So you kind of, after a while, have to, start attacking him again. Obviously, because otherwise, if you dodge and block all day, you're not going to do any damage unless you're ARG or Lum or Gloria.
Yeah.
I mean, he has bad throws, but they are throws.
They do exist, and they can do up to 18, wow, damage.
Oh no.
But unfortunately, Gold Burst, which the 20, you generally just want to take the 20 in this one.
Yeah. It's probably hard to get those final authorities off against the ace block, so probably just better hedging your bets on martial law. Do you know why that's 1.4 instead of 1.2?
I have no idea. Do you know why?
No.
Oh. I was hoping for some really amazing exposition right there.
I wish I knew, but unfortunately only Serlin knows the machinations of Serlin.
Possibly tournament favourite Aphotics knows.
Maybe. I should ask Aphotics a few things. Like why is Gloria's triple ace move 0.6 speed?
It couldn't be too fast or it will clash with everything.
That's true, yeah. But I mean, it's kind of inefficient, I guess, for a 3 ace move. It's not that inefficient.
It's nearly 10 damage an ace, which is alright.
Yeah, it's about equal to Geiger's, but I mean, it's still subpar to Vendetta's in terms of damage efficiency.
Absolutely.
It's very subpar to Graves for damage efficiency.
Yes.
Yeah.
The most damage efficient ace.
I'm really interested by Gloria because she has a lot of like deliberate weaknesses because of the ability to like just take 10 free damage per turn, but because she takes 10 free damage from herself, I think most of the weaknesses kind of are a little bit too accentuated. I'm just passing the time until Bob plays his card. Oh, maybe he's
I
like...
just discovered something interesting. So back at apparently version 3.3, so this is before release, because release was 5.0 when they actually released into, I think, public testing. I'm not certain about that. But yeah, version 3.3, martial law's speed was changed from 0.2 to 1.4.
Oh.
So it was originally 0.2. Also, in fact, all of his speeds got nerfed in this patch, where his jack went from 2.4 to 3.4, the queen went from 0.2 to 0.8, and the king went from 3.0 to 4.0. And Clockwork Soldiers went from 0.4 to 1.0, so it was just like a speed reduction across the board. Probably well deserved.
Probably, yeah. If his jack was 2.4 speed, then
It's fireball speed. And if his DP was DP speed, oh my goodness.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine Divide and Conquer trading with Jay for free? Ugh. As Grave does 8 damage, Onimaru does 25.
Or even Queen being 0.2 speed, it's just like, yeah, how's your flash kick? I just did 25.
Yeah. Did he have final authority back then too?
As far as I can tell, sure. Like, I can't see anything to suggest he didn't.
Yeah. I do think final authority is a little bit arse in how it can't be countered, but I mean, with those speeds, yeah, you kind of need it.
It gained the can't be countered text in that patch.
Oh. Okay.
As well as also forcing the discard of an extra card rather than just final authority itself. So.
Alright then.
Yeah, Bob is vanished. He'll be back soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's possible to find these old threads. But possibly I can. Let's see.
He's back.
He is back. If I go all the way back.
He gets back and he scoops Argagog 6 block immediately.
Oh, goodness. The computer hamster.
Ooh. Ramirus going to low hand in all 3 games.
Ooh.
Finally gets a bubble shield up, so he might be able to turn it around from this.
Ooh, very good, very good.
And just stuff one of Onimaru's 10s. I'm assuming that ace was drawn or top decked just then. Maybe he was saving it for a few hands, but
possibly so.
Hidden ace. Oh, okay.
Oh dear, the 10 throw.
Uses up a 10 though, yeah. So 3 aces and discard. Now would probably be a good time to power up. Although, probably more throws incoming. Maybe not, because of the 10. He could have final authority though. Dirty spammer. Or spamming down back. That's not spam, that's just boring.
I mean, I think playing the ace block while having an ace block up is a bit...
How to lose bubble shield in less than 5 seconds. I've lost it in even shorter amounts of time. Even shorter than less than 5 seconds.
Yeah, time final throw.
Yeah.
How's life? Oh, God.
Oh, that one poor Argagog player who didn't know that playing a Joker after getting time stopped a bubble shield didn't do anything.
Yeah, that's
except waste his Joker.
I think we got that bug fixed, didn't we? Finally.
No. Well, maybe. I don't know. It was a couple of patches ago. Oh, Joker gets his aces back. He manages to stuff an 8 throw while he's at it.
Good.
Still plenty of throws Bob can have access to. So Don't know if Bob keeps throwing in anticipation of Varg just continuing with the ace block, or possibly if Varg had a life lead, then ace block could be 100%, but this life lead, I think you need to make at least 2 good guesses on the triangle that lead into good damage. That is not one of them.
Unfortunately not.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. That Joker would have come in handy. This is why I keep telling... Oh no.
Oh, wow. The sudden kings.
Wow,
Goodness.
okay.
That was brutal. There is... I found the post moving the ace speeds. I'm currently trying to find why, because it didn't specifically say in the OP. So I'm trying to find it.
Yeah. I kind of want there to almost be like a page on the forum, which is just like a log of all of the changes that were made and why they were made.
I actually, I found it.
Oh, you did?
It's not one specific thread, but it's a whole bunch of threads labeled Yomi Expansion Beta Version.
Oh.
So currently I'm in the Yomi Expansion Beta 3.3 thread. These are all from, 2012.
Oh, yeah. That was about a year before I started even playing the game.
Same. Oh, wait, hold on. I think maybe I've misread. I think it's from the old forums. I'm not sure. I can't tell, because I think the OP was edited, so in fact the discussion is down here somewhere. So I might be able to find it. Oof.
I might have asked you before, or it might have been Deets, but just like, regardless of whether that, well, I mean, it's probably not going to happen, but just as in your personal opinion, do you think Yomi needs another update?
Look, it depends on what you're trying to get out of it.
Yeah, I suppose.
I think as it stands, I think Yomi can be a high-level competitive card game, just already. I think it's entirely possible to get the balance tighter, like 100%. You could. I think it's not necessary, but it could be nice. But I think we won't see an update unless there's something actually big happening.
Yeah, probably.
But I mean,
well, my thing is because I know, like, as games get played, more and more and more people, discover more and more things about them, and especially like the competitive people are going to discover more and more ways to win more effectively, I suppose. So, like, over time, games just sort of become less balanced by themselves as people play them more and more.
That's kind of true.
So I think if you want a game to last, you kind of need to update it. Not that I want to be playing Yomi forever, but I think if it's to have any longevity, it probably needs an update.
Yeah, I suppose. Of course, the biggest thing is...
I wouldn't be too disappointed if it just became an absolute 20xx mess and I just had to move on to something else. I've got plenty of games.
I think the biggest thing, of course, is that because it's a card game, primarily, and actually an online game secondarily, that, of course, that just introduces a whole bunch of annoying problems when it comes to updating.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it impossible.
No, but it means you have to, like, either make it an expansion or you have to send people like updated cards or stuff like that. And it's just, it becomes really awkward, and we don't want it to be like a you have to keep paying money to stay up to date kind of Magic deal, because that sucks.
Well, I talked about this on the post discussing this in the forums, is that if you don't want to update your cards, then just don't update your cards and keep playing the old version.
Yeah,
but for some reason, people find it really iffy that they'd be playing a different version to, like, the most recent version. They think, like, oh, if I'm to enjoy this game at all, I'd need to play the most recent version, even if I still enjoy the version that I bought.
You're right, but, like, a lot of people, they don't think that way. They're like, oh, I gotta be up to date and have the latest. Because, alright, so, like, so imagine that, for the sake of argument, imagine I'm playing League and I have, like, an offline client of League and I play it with my little group of friends that I know in real life. But then all the people online, they're playing League, and League gets an update. And all the people online, they get this update. Woohoo. But then me, with my little group of friends, I don't have this update, and I have to pay to get this update. And it doesn't even matter what the update is. It's like, oh, well, you have to pay to get this new update, or else I'm not playing on the same level as everyone else. And for a competitive game, League is technically a competitive game, though I don't play it competitively. But imagine I'm trying to play it for whatever, it's marketed as a competitive game, and I'm like, yeah, I want to play the competitive game, then it would feel really bad.
I suppose, but I mean, people still play Team Fortress Classic, and Team Fortress 2 has been out for 7 years. And
Team Fortress 2 is a free game, but it's a very different game to Team Fortress Classic.
Yeah, but it's still, like, got the namesake, I suppose. I mean, if somebody came up with, if Serlin decided to go crazy and make Yomi 2, or Super Yomi, or Ultra Yomi HD Remix Edition, and would that invalidate Vanilla Yomi?
I'd almost buy that on the name itself. Well, I suppose Street Fighter 2 HD Remix didn't invalidate Street Fighter 2. So maybe there's something in that, but I don't know if they were ever actually... Well, I mean, I don't know enough about history, so I don't know how big of a competitive game Street Fighter 2 was. But I don't think HD Remix was. Not that I'm aware of. I could be entirely wrong there.
Yeah, maybe. That's a different subject, though. So, I'm up against Entileman in this triple threat tournament. I forget what his team was. I know it has a Zane on it.
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't it?
Nope.
Hold on, let me have a look. I thought I saw a Zane on it somewhere. Or was that just me looking at Bob's team for Ramirus because he was too lazy?
That's probably just me not liking Zane.
Probably me just not liking Zane. Probably me, like, I picked Gloria for this tournament and they put me up against Zane. Okay, where is his team? Entileman, DeGray, Lumgeiger. Okay, yeah.
But which versus your team, at least you have the ARG for the Lum. And the ARG for the DeGray, kinda. But fighting Tiger is going to be hard for you.
I'm gonna open with Gloria, just because.
Well, the Gloria's kind of there to beat...
No, Gloria's just there because I like playing Gloria.
Well, Gloria can sort of beat DeGray. Yeah,
I want to beat DeGray with Gloria. I want to beat the high tier character with the low tier character.
It's possible.
I know it's possible, but that, like, every single Gloria matchup except Gloria versus ARG can get reversed super fast.
Yeah.
Like, I noticed this playing in, like, Quick Match is, and actually one of the reasons why I like the character is because she does have that sort of ARG in Bubble Shield quality where you start playing the triangle, where you're like, my goal isn't necessarily to win combat in the best way, it's just to win combat, or at least to not lose combat.
Yeah.
So, when Gloria gets into her, like, engine mode, where she starts, healing every turn, drawing cards with Healing Sphere, and, repeated overdoses and so on, it's just so much fun, I think, to play the rock, paper, scissors triangle. To, do that three-way guessing game with your opponent and have them sort of on edge that way, which is why I like her. But Gloria, because she does damage to us, like Ark doesn't do damage to himself. Because Gloria does damage to herself, as soon as that engine mode with the triangle ends, it usually ends with the opponent doing like 20-30 damage, and then you're back in a disadvantage again. That's basically just Gloria. It's just get into the engine and then be right for the rest of the game. Play correct.
Which is, of course, a lot easier said than done.
Yeah.
Unless your name is Bob Numbers.
Well, I mean, my tournament record against him is 6-0, so... That is in tournament. I think he's beaten me more out of tournament.
I suppose I can check that in the juicer stats, can't I? What my tournament
maybe. As far as I remember, at least. I don't remember if I was up against him in Summer Smash or some other stupid tournament, but I know that I faced him in IYL, beat him 3-0, and faced him in $5 and beat him 3-0.
Let's have a look. My stats versus Bob Numbers, the legend.
How do you get player stats on that?
You just type in the name.
That is on the what is it? The Juicer's fucking thing.
I don't think my stats have come up correctly. Oh wait, maybe they have. No, they haven't. Hold on, have they? Oh, it's loading. Yes, there we go. You see, I've oh yes. Yes, my matchup versus Bob in total is 5-4 games, so that's pretty good.
Which tab is this? Detailed results or summary?
The summary.
Summary?
You go to the summary and then you input your... Oh, I should probably cut the recording here. Thanks for watching, guys.